Welcome to episode 32 of Can a Blue Mage solo this instance. This run is with my full level 50 gear. If you have any questions about the run and why I did things, comment below and I will clarify. Also, feel free to post your own strats and experiences. I will have my narration scattered throughout this video, and timestamps will be in the description below. My gameplay in this episode is somewhat unedited, so please enjoy the video. The first section is reminiscent of light party pools. You can do 2 big pools towards the first boss. Ramboys is the ideal crowd control for this one. The first boss is your normal tail screw and continue strat, thankfully, but you might run into an issue if you don't drop this boss before it uses its own tail screw. If you happen to wipe it, don't fret, just try again. Second section, you can do it in 3 self-destruct pulls. Likely, it'll be faster than doing it one at a time. The second boss is the major gate of this dungeon. One phrase, DPS Check. If you remember how this boss works, All of its DPS check mechanics are pretty much amplified since you aren't a real tank and you don't have a larger amount of HP. He starts off with 3 ads. You can burn them down quickly, but mind your HP. I opened with White Wind to get them gathered first before I did mine burst. Then, you want to make sure your HP and MP is close to full before the boss reaches 90%. 90% is when he will set up to do his musket phase, the DPS check. It takes a little bit of time once he ticks down to 89% before he uses it, but you want to try to push him down as much as you can before he begins his rotation. He'll do walk the plank, which will stun you, then a knockback, then musket. You need maybe around 3000 damage to stop the boss from using musket, but every time he gets back into using musket, the starting damage stack will be stronger, so you cannot extend this DPS check for a long period of time because you cannot survive the damage. If the stacks had reset to 1, you could turtle up and manage it slowly, but unfortunately that is just not the case. Your goal is to push in under 70% to stop the musket DPS check, so the strategy that seemed to work was the GCD, Song of Torment, and Feather Rain for the first check, then Moon Flute, and everything you have for the second check. Hopefully it'll be enough to push him under 70%. After he is under 70%, you have to survive 15 seconds because of Waning Nocturne. I highly suggest you get tank stance back up and max out your HP before your spells lock out. You can consider Diamondback to mitigate damage, which leaves you 5 seconds to cure up, or you can keep Sprint available to kite the enemies around for as long as you can. The next DPS check is 50%, so after you handle the ads, you want to spend the time recovering MP and HP till it's close to max before pushing him under 50%. I used the same strat as I did earlier to push him under 30% now, which is when at spawn. The only problem is, he still continued his musket DPS check, and I had absolutely nothing left to push him even further. This was my best attempt on this boss, and I got very lucky to get this far as it took many attempts. I had tried to duplicate the result a number of times, but I was never able to get him this low from the tries I had. Because of this, I may have to label this dungeon as not soloable. There might be a slim chance to clear this boss, although I'm not sure how you would fare on the final boss, but I imagine it's easier than this jerk. I had dabbled with another strat, which involves Veil of Whirl and Ice Spikes, but I had not been able to give it a solid try. Considering the speed in which he uses musket, attempting to take advantage of the reflect damage might work. I think the goal for this boss is to get him under 20% and you might be good to go, but the amount of damage you need is a lot. Plus a finisher is out of the question, because he spawns ads before the fight actually ends. I may return to this in the future, but for now, I'll leave it as this is. I would be very interested to know if someone else had cleared it and what they did, or crazy enough to try. That will end my narration for this video, but you are welcome to watch my last attempt at this boss. Thanks for watching, comment below what you think, toss some likes if you wish, and look forward to more videos like these in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.